thing is that, I mean, being like fitness is a lifestyle. So first they'll have to know that it's a lifestyle that they'll have to incorporate. They can't just do anything that's short term or like a crash diet. And then secondly, they'll have to make time, like, you know, even if they can't find the time. Then, you know, the easier tips would be that, you know, you remove all the junk from your house first of all, because if there's something lying there in the fridge, then it's very difficult to control yourself. Yeah, but even if, and secondly, if there's someone, like for example, someone's robotically following a diet and somebody needs to cheat, for example, you know, like once a week or twice a week, like we suggest that, like just for healthy tips, not for a program, but for a healthy tip, like would be that, you know, you go out and you eat that thing and you come back. You know, don't bring it back home and don't store that thing. Like for example, if you want a bar of chocolate, don't buy a big bar of chocolate and bring it in anticipation of eating it later, because when you eat it later, then you might save some and then you might eat it later as well, and then, you know, in that way. So just finish your treat and then, you know, you come back home.
But if your goal is larger, suppose you want to drop fat or you want to gain muscle or you want to get ripped or something larger like that, then you'll have to create a routine that kind of suits your work life also, but facilitates that goal. So that's what we work towards at the 42-day challenge. We're a home-based routine for working people. So the routines we do at the challenge could be done at work. They could be done at home. You just need a little bit of space. It's all body weight related. So it's all say interval training that is done through free weights and body weights. If you had a pair of dumbbells, you could do the routine just within this much space. If you don't even have access to a pair of dumbbells, you could use things like, you know, we were just talking about, like office furniture and stuff like that.
We basically, we get a BMR done. So the BMR machine determines your basal metabolic rate. So this is your metabolism at rest. So it determines the amount of calories that you're burning in the day without any exercise, right? So from that we get the BMR and we look at a few values like your total body water and your fat percentage that you get from a machine. So the fat percentage tells you how much lean muscle you have and how much fat you have, and then according to that we customize the meal plan for everyone. So everybody sends us an email after they register of their values, and then we look at their values and then we make the customizing meal plan for them, like how many, for example, proteins and carbs and fats a person, every individual needs per meal, and then we email it back to them.
And then also, so there's a couple of things. We have one standardized structure, okay, which is our initial breakdown of how many carbs, fats, and protein a person needs per day, and then we customize that to their body's requirements, right? Then we have a bunch of different structures based on what, again, your goal is. So people who come for the challenge initially will follow an initial structure. And then when their goal changes, so they want to primarily build muscle, for example, or they want to really drop down their body fat. So we give them different structures. So the meals will be at different times. There'll be different kinds of meals at different times. Apart from that, we also change the structure based on any inadequacies you might be facing or any medical concerns. So if, for example, you have certain things or certain issues holding you back which prevent you from being able to do the workout completely in its full form, and you're doing major substitutes, so we give you different kinds of...
For example, if a lot of men come with sports injuries, such as football injuries, and they have, let's say, some ligament or ACL tear in their knee, so our workout has a lot of leg work in it. We do a lot of squats, and so those people can't do it. So obviously when we give them substitutes, so then their level of workout, kind of decreases. So we adjust the meals according to that as well.
And then also things like metabolic disorders and PCOS, so insulin resistance, diabetes, things like that. So when people come with conditions like that, they'll follow the initial structure. Sometimes they don't even realize that they're facing these problems and the structure is not working on them. And then we're like, oh, get this test done, get that test done.
I guess she was.
See, there's a lot, because as the industry increases, and as it does in any sort of market, right? There's competition, and then there's misrepresentation, right? And they go hand in hand. They ought not to, but it does happen. Varda Salim joined the class over a year and a half ago. So her recollection of things seems a little bit hazy, considering the fact that a lot of it is not true. So either she simply can't remember, or there's a different agenda behind it. Again, coming back to misrepresentation. But what we would like to add is Varda Salim is not the only client we've had over the 4 years, considering we do math classes. So there are people who have clarified what she has said. So if you'd like to read a more honest opinion of what's happening in the class, you'll have to read the testimonials other people have written under that. And another thing to consider is that when a class is successful, or a business is successful, or anything, there must be a reason behind it, right? So if people are coming to the class repeatedly, they're obviously getting some sort of a result and attention. That's why they're coming. So we can't imagine that the mass people at large of Karachi are all confused and are coming to a program that is not giving them what they want, when one person is saying that that's not happening, as opposed to the hundreds of people who are coming for what is happening. So fitness in general, people, because fitness is so wholesome, it covers so many different aspects, right, of life, and is targeted or is approached in so many ways. There's so many kinds of fitness routines going on. People often get baffled when they come to a workout like ours, and they have to face such levels of intensity when it comes to working out. They often can't distinguish between muscular pain and pain that comes with exertion and using muscle, as opposed to pain that comes with an injury, right? So when you can't distinguish the two, and especially the medical, a lot of doctors will give a really dim medical opinion to people who go and say that, oh, I've joined a workout and now I'm feeling this pain. Often the doctor will be like, oh, you've overdone it, or which isn't the case most of the time. It's usually exertion related or deficiency related, a deficiency that they already had before they came, that they didn't know about, so we never knew about. Initially, when we created the challenge, other than creating it.
First ones to start.
Not more than that, having created the challenge in its entirety, right? So TORSUM, we have an edge. TORSUM being a medical student, and being one of the quickest people I know when he comes to applying academic knowledge to real life circumstances. So when we met, he had just started medical school, he studied the metabolic system. And TORSUM was one of the few people I've come across who will take their knowledge that they learn in school, systematic knowledge that they're getting, and apply it to what's happening with my body right now. Was the fact that we created the challenge, so we know the challenge back of our hands. We know exactly what's happening. So if there's someone doing our routine, which is a major concern, and that has been happening for a long time. There's been people doing our routines in ad hoc manners. They can't control the variables we can, because we know if you do this, this is going to happen. If you don't do that, this is going to happen.
We live the same lifestyle. We do the same home workouts. It's not like mostly programs, like you said, it's become a business. So there's actually people that are trainers and they work out all day at the gym, and they have and then they go and they make people do these home workouts that are HIIT based. They don't follow those workouts themselves. They're going and lifting heavy weights, something a banker or 9 to 5 person cannot do. They cannot work out for 2-3 hours. So those people come thinking that I'm gonna look like this trainer, and if I do this half an hour workout. And meanwhile, this trainer his sole purpose and job is to be in the gym all day, lifting weights. So we don't do that. We do the same workouts that we don't make people do anything that we don't do ourselves.
Our entire team, so all our trainers are people we've trained, so they all live the lifestyle. So everyone is as into it and as aggressive about fitness as we are. So the people who are running our classes in another city or in another part of the city, or if they're doing a morning class for the 42-day challenge, they're as intense about it as we are personally, because they've all been through body transformation with us.
Yeah, the whole point of the program is for it to be sustainable. So, initially when we were making the meal plan, I think we were like one of the first in the world, I think, to come up with desi food that's healthy. And we can have pulao and biryani in our meal plan, and we could still have a goal,
and burgers and pasta.
Still have a goal of achieving a six-pack, and eating healthy, like brown rice biryani or brown rice biryani. So that was because it was very difficult for me to sustain eating chicken and salad all the time. So I was like, there has to be a way, for us to make desi food, healthy. So that's one of the factors that makes it sustainable. Secondly, we give a CD in which we've made the videos ourselves of all the 6 weeks, of all the 42 days that are in our program. So once you come to the program to go through a change, by the end of it, then you're motivated enough to continue that lifestyle with the CD at home. Because that's the second sustainable factor. Thirdly, the thing is that we made this workout based on the fact that we did not want to spend a lot of money on buying equipment, and we wanted the workout to be short because we work ourselves. So the workout is short, it's for 45 minutes max, and the only equipment you need is a pair of dumbbells for the whole program. So, and you can eat desi food.
And also, like, maintenance plans are always different. So once you're trying to achieve your goal, you're going hardcore, right? You're just like, I can't eat this, I have to have so much of this and so much of that, and I have to eat at this time. Because we all have a time limit, right? We have 42 days and you want to achieve your goal, right? So even if it's not the end goal, you want to achieve some sort of goal, right? So you put a 42-day time limit on that. Now, eventually, when you reach your goal and you're like, oh, I'm happy and this is the way I want to look and I don't want to go too drastic, then we put you on a maintenance plan. So things like detox that are very, very rigid get eliminated, right? And your Sunday then becomes like a cheat day. So you can do, again, your family-oriented things. And not that we suggest that you should be eating junk food on your family days. But, so you can, again, try and fit into what we know as normal life, keeping in mind that what we do itself, and I keep repeating this and Torsum keeps repeating, is not a diet. So we shouldn't be calling this a diet, we should be calling this reverse dieting, because you're going back to your natural state of living. You're living healthy, you're living clean, you're living like your body was made to live, right? So you weren't made to eat chips, you weren't made to eat chocolate cake. That's all man-made stuff. You're made to eat a certain way. So you're reversing that and going back to what your natural body should look like and should weigh and should, measure. So people, who get really involved in fitness with us through the class find it very easy to live their lives the way we do. So it's not as much of a struggle as you might imagine it is, because when you're eating 5 times a day every 3 hours, that's much more comfortable and much easier than, starving all day and having a nihari at night, like people do. So when your body gets used to that and you get accustomed to that, you begin to enjoy it far more,
Hi guys, I'm Torsum.
And I'm NUSRAT. We're from the 42-Day Challenge.
And you can watch us exclusively at
Brand Scenario.